The demo for Guildrun has been out for a week now, and today is our first official balance pass. There have been almost 2 million completed runs already played, so that translates to plenty of data for our lead designer Aleko and the dev team to work on. We hope you enjoy the new patch, and we look forward to hearing your feedback on these changes. We have 3 goals with our first patch. First is to expand the number of playable strategies, particularly in Endless Mode and Red Rift. Second is to identify pain points that prevent players from enjoying the game and progressing a run, and take steps to address them when possible. Finally, the third, to give a balanced pass to heroes, making small changes where needed based on data we have from our first week of being live. I won't be going over every change in this video, so be sure to read the patch notes in the description below. Challenge fights are up first. We've reduced the difficulty of a few Act 1 and Act 2 challenge fights that stood out as overly punishing in higher difficulties. A few fight events also had their difficulty lowered, specifically for single combat, which was pretty evident from player feedback and internal data. The biggest change to relics was the reduction in cost for team-size quest relics in the auction house. The win rate for these relics on the whole were underperforming compared to other relics, and the feedback from players in higher difficulties was that these relics weren't as strong as the ones that made an immediate impact. The rest of the relic changes focused on relics which stood out in the data as either much better or much worse than other relics of the same rarity. There were a handful of class modifiers that were too weak in our internal data, but not very many stood out as overpowered. We're taking a buff-only approach to class modifiers this week, and we'll follow up in future patches with nerfs if necessary. Heroes and specs are the backbone of Guildrun. If we learned anything from our balance patches during the closed alpha, it was that small changes to heroes and specs can sometimes have a big impact on their overall popularity and win rate more than expected. For this reason, when it comes to heroes and spec balance changes, we'll be making smaller changes over multiple patches instead of taking big swings. Yuna has been one of our most popular heroes since launch, but her overall win rate, especially in Red Rift, is a little lower than we'd like to see. We're giving her a boost to her defense in order to help her better survive early fights and cast her active ability multiple times. Like Yuna, Ho-Young is an assassin with a slightly lower win rate in higher difficulties. We're making an adjustment to Killshot, which both adds a bit more immediate power and scaling power, in order to make sure Ho-Young can consistently rack up those kills as the run progresses. Xerxes the Cruel is performing a little worse than her other specs. We're shoving off a full 10 points of mana off its active ability in order to help it have a quicker first cast, as well as more frequent subsequent casts. We're also giving her a boost to her base attack damage and base attack speed, as she's been playing more tank than assassin. Fiona's power level is looking solid in our internal data, with the caveat that her popular, the right-hand spec, is underperforming a bit compared to the other two. The Inferno is Funke's weakest spec across difficulties, even though it was bugged to trigger after stall 20 instead of stall 25, as stated on the ability. Since it's pretty important to get burn going early, we're going to try lowering the stall duration of its spec before making other potential changes. Kai's the Bold stands out as his strongest spec across all difficulties, and is a strong outlier particularly on the Red Rift. We're toning down the base bonus shields he gets per cast, while preserving all of the defense-based scaling that the spec gives him. Our goal is to have this spec provide less of an immediate boost while still maintaining its late game power when you properly invest into it. Gustav is a top performing hero in every mode, including Red Rift and Endless. The Glacier stands out a bit from his other 2 specs, but all 3 of them are performing well above average, which indicate the need for a small change to his base kit. Everyone seems to be a fan of Dragomir's high-risk, high-reward playstyle, as he's been one of the most popular heroes in the game since release. We don't want to mess with something that's working, but the Sanguine has been a top spec in Red Rift and offers a bit too much immediately stability when picked. This change aims to tone down its immediate power while still maintaining the fantasy of chain-killing multiple enemies per fight. Let us know what you think about these changes. The team will continue to tweak balance and bug fixes, so please report any issues you find to us. From the team here at Leyline, we want to thank everyone who's played this week and helped make Guildrun one of the most popular Steam demos of all time. We'll be back next week for more patch notes. See you then.